Lizzie Borden took an axe, gave her mother 40 whack. When she saw what she had done, gave her father 41.
Well, welcome back to Sip, Spill, and Spook. Are you as creeped out as I am?
I'm so creeped out by that.
We're two girlfriends with one bottle, zero qualification, and we're digging into the darkest stories we probably shouldn't be drinking through.
Yeah.
Or maybe we should.
And here we are again. We're serving up a mystery with a salted rim.
I think actually it's sugared.
Today it's sugar. I got the sugar.
Well, it could be salted, yeah.
Yeah. Either one, but
Tonight's cocktail is the Witch's Brew Margarita.
yeah.
It's spooky, it's sparkly, and like Lizzie Borden is who we're going to be talking about, deceptively sweet.
Yeah, she sounds just up our alley, our kind of girl.
Okay, so the sip, which is a brew margarita. I'm going to tell you how to make this,
Yeah.
even though we kind of like threw ingredients together.
It's excellent.
It's so yummy. And this might lead into tipsy talk.
Oh, yeah.
could.
Yeah, definitely. But I think it would be great for Halloween party.
Absolutely. Yes. So it's and we'll post pictures of it. I promise I will this time because it's just, it's so pretty. But so to make this beauty, what you're going to need is like, I use like a lavender tequila. I'm into lavender, but it's purple.
Yes.
Like it's a purpley. But they call it, they don't call it tequila. They call it an agave spirit.
Really?
But it's tequila.
It's, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I use, but you could just use regular tequila. And then I used, what did we use? We used,
Triple sex.
triple sec. You said triple sex.
I didn't think you would catch that, but you called me out on it. Sorry. You're right there. I tried to hide that one.
I know. I am on it right now.
No,
Maybe tequila makes me like triple sec. I'm trying to think now. It's not terrible. What else? I put in like a I had a syrup that was like a lavender syrup.
Yeah.
We used some. It was a something a tea, like a something pea tea.
Oh.
That my friend Donna had made. So this was Donna's recipe originally.
Yeah.
I kind of tweaked it a little bit.
Okay.
I'll put it in the recipe, but it's like
Excellent.
it's not a
Yeah.
sweet pea tea, but it's something like that. It's a purple tea,
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so you added that, and then I believe you put some simple syrup in it,
Yeah.
that type of thing. And then we put, because I had some like gold glitter.
It made
I know, we glittered it up, and then I did a rim. I did like a lavender salt on the rim, or lavender sugar on the rim.
Yes.
But I think it would be just as good with some salt.
I think so. Either one. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's pretty. It's kind of spooky and pretty, and
Yeah.
all like wrapped up into one.
Yeah. And the gold glitter really added to it. So
It's so pretty. We loved it. So anyway, so we highly recommend this
Yeah.
margarita. Tell you how highly. But here's the thing, though.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing.
Yes.
That's my drunk statement. If you don't know, here's the thing. To get through this episode, I feel like we need to be liquored up.
Yeah. Yeah. This is an episode everyone, I think, has heard about.
I had heard about it, but I knew really nothing. I knew. So Lizzie Borden, in case
You should give an overview of it.
And I'm Kiki.
I'm Jeannie.
And for me, like, I don't know why I thought this was a child that did it. Maybe it's because of the nursery rhyme.
Yeah. Yeah.
I assumed it was like a child.
Yeah,
And I had never,
no.
I don't like, scary movies. So I've never done a deep dive until we decided to do this.
Yeah.
But you did. So you knew.
Yeah. Well, I had seen years ago the movie that the woman from Bewitched.
That was her. I don't say Samantha, but that's her name.
I know, but anyway,
Yeah.
she was on the movie, and it was like a made for TV movie,
Yes,
and it was
yes.
kind of creepy back then. I should watch it
Oh.
again real soon
Yeah.
because it would be good this time of year. But
Right.
yeah, no. So I had known she was, and I think I'm not sure her
Elizabeth
age.
Montgomery.
There you go. Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I was looking at my, you know what?
She definitely
Yeah.
did wiggle her nose.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Right.
It was a good movie, and
Okay.
yeah, and it didn't tell much. I never never realized how much though her sister was there, because in the movie they didn't really show her sister or mention the sister.
So we should probably start at the
Yes, I would say
beginning.
let's start at the beginning and refresh those who know this story.
Right,
So.
exactly. And I love like gold glitter in your drink. Okay, just saying. All right, so let's just say cheers to that.
Yes.
Cheers to that. Okay, setting. Fall River, Massachusetts. If I would have thought you and I should have planned a trip up there.
This time of year would have been fantastic to go. But we didn't think.
I was going to call you yesterday and be like,
oh no.
do you want to do like a super fast road trip?
So the Borden family lived in just an ordinary house in Falls River, Massachusetts on 2nd Street, but ordinary is generous. It was small and it was cramped, and it was shared by 4 adults. They didn't really speak to each other. And one was the father, the stepmother, the sister, but then they also had the housekeeper who lived with, Lizzie herself.
Right.
And then the housekeeper called Bridget.
Bridget.
Yeah, that's who.
Let's back up a little bit.
Yeah.
So Andrew Borden made his money. He grew up very poor.
Yes.
So he made his money through like real estate and investing and that type of thing. So he created some great wealth.
Yes.
Through that. But all through that, like he was not going to spend any money to get like electricity put in the house.
Indoor
plumbing. And this was 1892. Yeah.
They had indoor.
So they were just, And so, but he wasn't having any of that.
Right.
So, and that pissed off Lizzie
and her sister
because, of course you would want that.
Right.
And they had the money for it.
Right.
And then I guess her mother died.
Yes. Close to birth. I mean, close to when the girls were very little.
I think Lizzie was 2.
Yeah. Very young.
And so the Abby Borden was his second wife.
Yes.
Right. So he was notoriously, they're saying he was like a banker, but I don't think he wasn't a banker. He was an investor.
I think he was an investor, and he had several. And I think I had read that Lizzie and her sister always wanted to live on the uphill, like on the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's where the nicer homes were. That's where the indoor plumbing was. The electricity. And clearly he could afford it.
Yes.
I mean, he was very wealthy.
He was worth I think like $10 million.
Yeah. But he was extremely, almost frugal to detriment. I mean, he just, he wouldn't spend it, like you were saying, on anything.
Yeah. And the house itself, from what I have read and listened to, was like the second floor. I think they did build on a little to it at some point, but it was just room went to room, went to room, went to room. So there wasn't like, first of all, not a lot of privacy, but it was awkward.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Especially when you get to be the ages that Emma and Lizzie were.
Well, they were in their 30s, weren't they? Yeah. So they weren't little kids.
And so, and Emma was, 10 years older? 9 years older than her.
Yes, her sister, 9 years older. They were active in their church.
Yeah.
And they were active in the town doing
charity work
and that, but neither of them had married.
And they had something about them not being married. Can't think.
They were called spinsters.
Well, they were spinsters.
Yeah. Wasn't that the name back then?
Spinsters.
Spinsters. Okay, yeah.
Hello, Margarita. But they were, and I think, and I was gonna say Lizzie taught Sunday school.
Yes,
she was very active in our church.
Yes, she was. But for a while, she and the stepmother. And they really did not speak. They could barely even eat dinner from what I read.
Yeah, I didn't read that.
Yeah, like they just didn't, I mean, they spoke, but very little, it was very.
Now, was this, because I had heard that like they found some kind of an engraved cup that Abby had given Lizzie, that said, like they called her mother.
Yes.
And that it sounded like whatever was engraved in the cup sounded kind of like nice.
Yes.
And I don't necessarily think that Abby was a wicked stepmother. I don't know. But I know that at one point after Andrew started giving Abby's children some money. Was it her? No, that wasn't her children. It was her sister.
Yeah.
Fell on hard times. And he gave them one of their renter houses.
Yes.
And the girls were irritated because, they thought Abby was a gold digger.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and then I also heard that he did then buy Lizzie and
Emma
a house
Mhm.
and they decided to rent it out. But then I heard they didn't want it anymore, so they sold it back to their father. And I think at first, this is again a lot of everyone got along, but then I think they noticed their father kind of favoring Abby's family a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think that caused a lot of friction.
Oh, yeah.
Because then I did read again, or I heard that that's when Lizzie kind of stopped calling Abby mother. She went back to
She called her Mrs. Borden.
okay, so that so
That had to
right
pause.
before the murder.
Right.
There wasn't.
There's a lot of tension.
Yeah.
What was I going to say about that with with them buying the house? Oh, and I'm thinking if he gave them a house, I think he only gave them one of his renters.
Yes.
Which I think it needed a lot of work.
Okay.
And so it was kind of like he gave them this. They rented it out, and then it became like they weren't making any money, whatever. But it's just like you thought that I guess they wanted to be on the hill.
Yeah,
evidently, because I would have thought that they would have just like, well, we'll fix this up and we'll put plumbing and electricity in this house. But
I heard the father, again, these were things on different podcasts, but like at one point there were pigeons in the barn that Lizzie had wanted to adopt and she was feeding them, and the father did not want the pigeons around, so he shot them.
Stop it. No, he didn't shoot. He did not shoot.
Oh, see, I had heard that he shot them.
Okay. And maybe it's speculation, but guess what? I didn't want to jump to that right away, but we will. I heard he killed them all with an axe.
Okay. Well, either way, I mean,
yeah. Karma is a bitch.
Yeah. So either way, though, I don't think he was the father. I think he was a very stern,
any stretch of the imagination. It sounds like he was cruel. I'm going to say cruel,
harsh, very harsh.
Yeah. And so if they grew up like that, that does mess with the.
It does,
especially. Yeah. So I mean, nobody really knows what went on in that house, but so Bridget, the maid, this cracks me up. Bridget, not Bridget, Maggie. So
well, explain that.
So Lizzie, I guess they refused. They had a maid named Maggie, and they decided that Bridget should be called Maggie.
Yeah, because they liked the prior maid, which was Maggie.
Yes, like how freaking disrespectful is that? You shall now be called Maggie.
Yeah,
I think it's rude.
Yeah,
and it's very it's so condescending. Bridget had to have hated that.
Yeah. And the reason why they did it was the other maid, they didn't say why she left, but her name was Maggie and they liked Maggie and they wanted just to call Bridget Maggie. I mean, it just made no sense.
Okay, perhaps if Bridget had come to them when they were 3-4 years old.
No, you're talking 30s.
It was definitely a slap in the face.
Oh.
You know what I mean? We refuse to call you by your Christian name. We're going to call you what we want to call you.
Yeah.
You don't like it or lump it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
just weird.
That, very,
yeah. I don't like it. So maybe it wasn't just about, maybe it's more about control. Lizzie reclaiming power in the house where she'd been dismissed, ignored, confined, so to speak.
She could have, had these feelings that had been going on for years and years.
And who knows, maybe she had suitors and he dimmed them off.
That could be.
There's suspicion that she was a lesbian.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even back then. I mean, not that I'm saying even back then, but you know what I mean? It's just that wasn't talked about at all.
It wasn't. You didn't know, but people were.
Yeah. So anyway, let's see. Where were we in this? There's so many. I feel like we can keep on this.
So anyway, so the morning of, and I'm not sure August 4th, is that when it was?
I believe.
Yes, they all were having kind of an ordinary.
was this so Emma wasn't home though?
No, Emma was away.
She was visiting friends.
Yes, she was visiting friends. So the sister was not there, and uncle had stayed the night.
John Morse. Now he was their birth mother's brother.
Yes. So an uncle, he had stayed the night and then he had left that morning to go to meet his kids or something like that.
Yes.
So he had been in the house but was not in the house at that point. Right. So now you have Bridget the maid, Abby the stepmother, and the father had gone and run errands. He was not home yet.
Right.
But Lizzie was.
Right.
So you have 3 people that they can
pinpoint that rainbow.
Yeah.
Lizzie, Andrew, Oh, well, Andrew came home then.
Yeah. So he's not home
he's
yet.
not home yet.
So yeah.
And did you hear the fact that there was the police were having a picnic that day?
No, I did not hear that.
Now they don't have that anymore in Fall River because there were no police, and it was now like this picnic was known that, you know what I mean. So whoever killed, we're gonna jump ahead, but whoever killed the parents might have known or surely knew that there was not going to be any police readily available because they're all at the picnic.
Okay,
isn't that interesting?
Mm-hmm.
So this is why they don't, that type of picnic anymore.
Yeah,
interesting. But anyway, so anyway, go ahead.
So then supposedly someone had gone in and pretty much with a hatchet or axe.
They say axe. It was a hatchet.
Okay. And I don't know the difference really between an axe and a hatchet. What is the difference?
Well, a hatchet is small. A hatchet has like a small handle, and that's something like you would use for minor chores. Like an axe is something you would use to like fell a tree,
right,
or to chop up wood.
Okay.
So and
pretty heavy and longer handle.
Yes,
an axe
would not make any sense for this particular murder.
Yeah.
So, and it couldn't be held behind your back. Just saying, if you're trying to surprise somebody.
Yeah. But obviously, so then the stepmother at this point was, what? Go ahead.
I forgot to say that the day before that they had all gotten, or the week before, they had all gotten like viciously sick. Did you hear this?
Oh, yeah. I heard it was a few days before.
Yes, a few days before. They had all gotten extremely ill. And the speculation on that is a couple things. Like one is that because he was so cheap, like they were eating like food that was old, like the sitting out. Yeah, sitting out, and then they just reheated it. So food poisoning is like one option. Yeah. The other option is Lizzie went to a pharmacy, and she tried to get, is it hydrogen cyanide?
Yeah, but at the time it was called acid.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And so that,
yes,
and
she was refused that. Like the pharmacist is like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Oh, there is some speculation that she had tried something else to poison them.
Okay.
Before she,
which she
allegedly went to Plan B.
I don't know. I think I would have rather been poisoned.
But I'm telling you, maybe Andrew should have thought before he asked the pigeons.
Yeah. There you go.
Ask the question. Anyway, go ahead.
So anyway, at this time, then no one really knows the Abby is dead, pretty much. Okay, so
she went upstairs to make
she was cleaning the bed, and
Morse which was the uncle, and which was kind of unusual. And well, it was unusual because the maid would typically do that.
Yes,
but the maid was sick, Bridget. Yeah, Bridget, aka Maggie Bridget was sick. Yeah, she was sick, and so Lizzie had told her, "Why don't you go and lay down?"
Yes. Interesting.
Right.
Interesting.
Right.
But anyway, so
she was up there making the bed.
Yeah. And so that's when allegedly Lizzie or whomever came in the house and whacked her. And
it wasn't 40 whacks. It was 90.
Yeah, it wasn't. But So then, of course, everything's going on as normal. And the father comes in and goes into, I guess, his study.
Well, he couldn't get in the front door.
Okay.
So it's so funny because we listen to different things, which makes it so interesting.
But yes. So go ahead. You take it from there.
So anyway, a couple of the ones I listened to were saying that he couldn't get in. The front door was kind of like jammed, and so he was having a hard time getting in. So that he was ringing the doorbell, and I guess Bridget went down to like let him in. But as she was doing that, she heard a laugh from the top of the steps. And it was Lizzie. Now, she would have already killed Abby at this time. Right. You know what I mean? Type of thing. And according to people who have been to the bed and breakfast, it's now a bed and breakfast, the Borden house. This house is so small. Like if you heard somebody laugh, you would know exactly where it came from. You know? So anyway. So he came in.
Yeah,
he
go
came
ahead.
in, and I guess he wasn't feeling the best. Right. So like he laid down on the sofa in the sitting room or whatever that was. And that's where he came to his demise.
Yeah. And what happened then? Go ahead.
Well, I'm trying to think how it all went down. Who found them? Bridget.
No, Lizzie I had heard Lizzie ran out. Bridget now at this point was up washing the windows outside.
Right. That's the other thing. Lizzie
And
told her, "Well, why don't you go wash the
yeah, so then
Yeah.
at this point,
Okay, so first of all, you're compassionate. I guess when Lizzie came down for breakfast, she could see that Bridget Maggie wasn't feeling well. And so that she did not have to make a full breakfast for her. She just had like coffee and a cookie or something like that, right?
right.
Sends her up to lay down, right? Then all of a sudden says, you know what? I think you need to wash the windows inside and out.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
so that's where Bridget Maggie was the time. You're right.
She was out
Washing windows.
I thought outside washing the windows. And then Lizzie comes out and screams, you know.
Right.
So go ahead.
Yeah, no. And then she sends for the doctor. Can't send for the police because there's no police really around. I mean, they do find police eventually, but evidently, I think this was hysterical. Not hysterical. It's just a sign of the times and how hoity-toity she was. She would not allow them. Like, I guess there was like an Irish immigrant doctor right next door. But immigrants were like low status at that point.
Oh, yeah.
So she wouldn't send Bridget Maggie, over there because who herself was an Irish immigrant.
Yeah.
To get that doctor, she had to go and find another doctor, which took like forever to get this doctor. And I don't know if you've heard that. It's just there's so much
right.
So many different versions of the story out there.
Yeah.
Which is they're again so interesting. But I think that so anyway, they come in and they find Andrew, right? And did you look at the pictures?
Yes.
Oh, I couldn't do it.
They didn't look bad.
No?
You really couldn't. He was just hunched over.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because the pictures they talk about show that his face looked like hamburger.
Yeah. They're saying, well, his eye came out or whatever. The video, picture I saw, it did not show that. It just showed his like, it's very, I mean, again, it was in 1800s.
Right.
So it wasn't.
And they didn't have any forensic anything.
No.
So, I mean, we could go on to the forensic mistakes that were made in this whole entire thing. But evidently they just thought it was Andrew. Then somebody asked, well, where's Abby?
Yes.
And then they go up and they find her.
Right.
And she had been killed first.
Right.
Which they talk about being such a good thing for Emma and Lizzie, because once she was killed first, and that meant her whole estate went to Andrew, right? And then Andrew was killed, so then his whole estate went to Emma and Lizzie.
Yes.
Yeah. And then she had a girlfriend. Do you know anything about that girlfriend? So her girlfriend, I'm trying to...
Oh, yeah, that stayed with them after,
Yeah. And so there was a bucket of like bloody rags and gas. And the policeman or whoever was asked Lizzie what that was.
Right.
You know what she said?
Yeah.
You tell me. Do you know what she said?
Well, it was her time of the month.
Yes.
But that's common back then.
I know. But they did not even... it was like men, and they're like, can you imagine? They're just like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Good excuse. But it was a very good excuse because, because that's what they used. It was a bucket full of rags with blood.
Yes.
Now, also her dress, did you hear about that? Yes. That she had burned her dress, or she was caught by this friend.
Yes.
So the police came, they look at the house, they go through the house, and they pretty much find the bucket of blood-stained rags, which they chalked up to, because Lizzie had said it was her time of the month. So they chalked it up to that. Interesting, they did not see any footprints, though, any bloody footprints around the body. So that
there had to have been.
There had to have been. But did you read or hear of any?
I didn't hear anything about the footprints. I know that one of Lizzie's many alibis, she gave so many excuses. She like lied and lied and lied as to where she was. But one of her things was she was in the barn and she was getting some lead for some fishing line or something, for some fishing poles, which they didn't even have. They never fished. And there was like, I forget what it was about the fishing poles. It was like, they weren't even like ready to be used in any way. So it makes no sense. Yeah. But they did say that there were no footprints in the barn.
No.
I knew that. That's what I had heard.
Yeah. And then what else did they find? Did they find the hatchet, or did they found a hatchet?
Right. In the basement.
Yeah.
And then it looked like it had been just like, it was dirty, but it looked like it had possibly just been covered in dirt. But then I heard a very interesting thing. Just on my way over here, I was listening to podcasts, and they said that several years later, have you heard this? That they found, some kids found a hatchet on the roof of a nearby home that looked like it had been thrown up there. And it was a new hatchet. But one time they could tell. I mean, it was old. It was rusted by the time they saw it. But underneath the rust, they could tell that this had been a new hatchet. And they said that the wounds on the bodies would have come from a newer hatchet because there was stuff that, I forget what they call it, chip or something that was left behind that led them to believe that it was this new hatchet.
Yeah, that I don't know because, but Bridget's out washing the windows. Wouldn't she have seen?
Well, she was out in front of the house.
Yeah, but you see a hatchet going, you see something.
I mean, who knows how, I don't know. Okay, here's kind of one thing I've questioned, and I think this question has been raised, the uncle. Some of the speculation is that the uncle and Lizzie were in cahoots to commit this murder. That he had, his alibi was so specific. I was here at this time. I did this at that time. And you have to wonder if maybe a man could have done more damage, to a woman than a buck. However, it was a rage killing. I mean, definitely. Like, you don't just...
And there was enough time in between because I had heard Abby, the stepmom's blood had already coagulated, so she was cold. So I could almost, if you were going from room to room, I could almost see a woman not having the strength or the endurance to keep going, whereas a man could.
Right.
But at least given the time frame that I heard about, there was enough time that kind of Lizzie had a little break in between. Little coffee break.
Yeah, okay. To get her story straight or whatever. I don't know. I do. I just have this kind of feeling, and you know how I get those feelings.
Yes.
If I envision the crime in my head, which I feel like I do sometimes, I always see that man in it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it was a coordinated effort.
I think it could have easily been coordinated, but I don't think he actually did the actual murder.
Maybe not?
Yeah, no, because I think his timeline was so specific being at places.
Right. Yeah.
I think he had all these.
He did have an alibi.
Yeah, he did have an alibi,
now,
but
Lizzie did not.
No, that's
the thing. She did not. Like, and when she was initially, I guess she was, I don't know what they call it. She wasn't indicted. Before she was indicted, she went to trial.
Yeah.
And she basically, every time, and I guess the doctor had given her a lot of morphine, which is what some people were saying.
Yeah.
That she had her story just, every time he asked for her, where were you? Like, she would give a different account of where she was.
Yeah. And the thing that is odd for me to understand too, okay, Abby, I heard weighed like 200 pounds. She was a stocky woman.
Yes.
Okay. So, first of all, she didn't. Okay, so you had Bridget, who was possibly in the house, but even out washing windows close by, thin walls.
Right. I think she would have been in the house when
I thought
Abby
so
was murdered,
too. But
and then outside,
but Lizzie was in the house, supposedly. So this woman, when you're hit first, she didn't scream. No one heard her. But then when she falls, 200 pounds is kind of
that's a heavy object.
That Bridget nor Lizzie ever said they heard her fall or anything.
Because, I mean, they're saying it was a burglar or somebody from the outside.
Yes.
So what did he do for that time in between the murders?
Yeah, drank a cup of coffee. Right. No, I don't know. I mean, that I agree. It
had some like icky mutton soup that was
hid in the outhouse.
and it makes no sense.
To me, it doesn't either.
It makes no sense. I guess, I mean, there's so many ins and outs of but Lizzie was eventually indicted.
Yes.
And she spent 9 months in jail waiting for trial.
Yes.
And it was like little tiny cells back then. I can't imagine that. I mean, 9 months is a long time.
Yes.
It must have driven her nuts.
Oh my gosh, yes. And her sister stood by her side at the time. But then she was...
Then when she went on trial, I do believe at the end of this testimony, I think it was a friend who had not brought up the fact that she saw Lizzie burning this. So it was a dress that Lizzie said was covered in paint.
Yes.
But it was probably blood.
Yes.
And she burned it, like we said. And so this friend finally, I don't think she could handle it anymore, like on her conscience.
Yeah.
She finally went to the judge, or she contacted the powers that be and confessed to the fact that she saw Lizzie burning this dress. And then Lizzie was officially indicted.
Yeah.
And that was, so anyway, she spent 9 months in jail, and then she had the trial.
Yeah. But she was found.
Well, and no, hold on one second.
Okay.
So at the trial, and even at the funeral. So evidently at the funeral, she came dressed in like, first of all, she refused to wear mourning clothes. At the funeral, she did come in like mourning clothes, but they said it was like this like lace, like weird kind of a thing that she wore, you know? And so that she was very not sad. Put it that way. Right. She didn't show any kind of sadness, remorse, or anything like that. Then at the trial, when she finally went to trial, they said that she came in like, because it was all men jurors at back of the day. Let's say this.
Women,
women couldn't be on juries.
Yeah.
So it's all men. So that her defense played to the fact of, you know, so she had like ribbons on her hat. She brought flowers, and like all these weird things just to make her look feminine. Like, I could not have possibly done this. You know, I am just a poor little woman, feminine. Yeah. And so I had heard that the judge, listen, that they heard all this evidence, and then the judge said to them, basically, this is a well-respected woman of like high standing, blah, blah. Basically, give her mercy. So it took them like no time at all to find they acquitted her.
Yes.
Well, I just still can't believe that. I just, in my mind, I don't know why, because I didn't know the story. I just thought that she had like rotted away in prison.
No. I mean, I thought she had gone to prison, and I actually thought she had been hung because that's what they did back then. But no, she was acquitted. But then what was interesting is I read, because this is coming out in Netflix, and I had read that they actually had a jury. They had people nowadays with the same evidence.
Oh, yeah.
And she was also acquitted.
No.
Yes. So because it's not enough evidence.
It's all circumstantial.
It's all circumstantial. So
she got away with murder.
Yeah, because yes. Yeah. And I think and obviously today she probably could with the evidence. I mean, because now they have DNA and all that, but say it the exact same evidence.
Okay. Exact same evidence.
It's the exact same evidence that they had, which again wasn't that much to be.
But I wonder if they had, you know, if they would have, I mean, I'm sure, you know how practices were back then. If they could test some DNA now.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
Yeah. Yeah.
So she went on to like live she and Emma bought a house on the hill.
But what's interesting, did you hear about what Emma moved out?
She did move out after a certain period of time because Lizzie was into kind of like the Great Gatsby kind of thing. She was into throwing parties, you know, hobnobbing with the wealthy. And I had heard that she also was hobnobbing with the theater folk.
Well, and I also heard that Abby also moved out because things became strange.
Emma, you mean?
Emma, yeah. Sorry, the sister moved out, not because of I didn't hear about the Gatsby and the party.
Yeah.
I just heard that she did not enjoy living with her sister, that some odd things started happening and she did not feel comfortable.
Safe. And not only did she move out, but they never spoke again.
No.
That's weird.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So I'm you know, this just creeps me out.
Yeah. So do you think Lizzie did it?
Absolutely, 100%. There's nobody else that could have done it. And the axe, along with her dad axing the pigeons, that to me is like, it was like paybacks, you know, because she loved those little pigeons.
Yeah. I don't think my other guess would have been Bridget or Maggie, whatever they call her.
Yeah.
But if anything, I thought she could have been in cahoots too, but I don't think she was. You know,
they did say so. She died fairly young.
Yeah,
I had heard that on her deathbed, she confessed that she had lied on the witness stand to protect Lizzie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and so they said that she would never ever speak of it. That she was never the same.
Yeah,
like very disturbed. She probably saw something. You know,
I think she would have had to.
She would have,
something to have been there. Now, what's interesting in the movie I had watched with thank you. They actually showed her undressing herself before each murder. So she was completely naked before.
No, she committed the murders naked?
Yes. So that way she didn't have blood on her.
Okay.
So,
All right. So my only problem with that, and this could not be a problem, but they said like that Abby was killed with a hatchet at close range, like in the face.
yes.
So she would have known who her attacker was.
Yeah.
And there was no defensive wounds.
No.
So I would think if Abby walked in there naked, and even with her dad,
Yes.
do you know what I mean? That kind of doesn't make sense to me.
But it depends how quick you are. Again, that was the movie.
Right.
I don't know where they got that because I had never I believed it when many, many years ago when I saw the movie. But now after I don't, and I didn't hear about the dress.
Right. Yeah.
She was
would have
burning.
to, if you were hatcheted somebody, if you killed somebody like that, there would be blood everywhere. Like,
on her.
Yeah, on her. I would think so. But but also, okay, this is the one creepy detail. I just find, so evidently they say that the Borden house is haunted and that when they were killed, they were embalmed and an autopsy was done in the house. Ew, number one. Yeah. Done in the house. And then I forget how many days it was. I don't know, it was between the funeral. It was they put him in like a holding area, the cemetery, which I think was like the girls' comfort station, whatever. So it must have been kind of some type of bathroom.
Yeah.
And that they then took their heads off because they wanted to use the skulls in the trial. So they boiled them down and then presented the skulls at the trial. Now, can you imagine? Like, whose job was it to boil us? You know what I mean?
Yes.
You'd never be the same.
No, but I bet you that's how they did a lot of investigations back then. I mean,
because there's forensic science was in its very early stages.
What a fun job!
So anyway, the one podcast I listened to, the Morbid,
yes,
she talked about that those two girls stayed in the house like all night.
Oh my god!
And so like they did not feel comfortable at all. They could see things out of their corner of their eye. They couldn't wait to get out of there.
Yes.
So I would never in a million years do that.
No, but back then too, that's what a lot of bodies were left in the home, and that's where you actually.
But they had the autopsy.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't want a dead body in my
no. And what would you need the autopsy? It was obvious how they died. They were hatcheted to death.
Yeah, but I guess they wanted to present it in court. I don't know.
I don't know. But evidently, so when Abby moved to this house or whatever, so she was kind of like bullied.
Yeah.
Because the kids would come and they would sing these like nursery rhymes in front of her house. Like, okay, more power to you children, because if she really did hatchet her family to death.
I hope you were standing away.
I know. I was like, I dare you. I dare you to go sing that song.
It was probably that though. A lot of dares, especially around this time of year.
Yeah. So she was she was very much shunned. Her church wouldn't have anything to do with her after that.
I don't think she would have been a good Sunday school teacher.
But I do think that people really thought she did it.
Yes.
Oh yeah. And you have to wonder if, because of the persona that she presented then, was like she a psychopath.
Oh yeah.
I think you'd almost have to.
I think you would, yeah.
Just show no emotion and be able to commit a heinous crime like that.
Right.
You're not right in that.
No.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So.
No. And we don't even know, true, I know not much is said, but we don't even know what went on in the house with the father and the stepmother. Because back then you didn't talk about a lot of things.
There could have been a ton of abuse.
Yes.
Because a ton of resentment.
Right. The crimes were definitely violent and
what made you think, especially like Abby, like, if it had been like a stranger that came in the house, like why would you kill? And you had a beef against Andrew because evidently he was not the best of landlords.
No.
Like if you worked for him in his many endeavors and you got a raise, and you also rented from him, he would raise your rent.
See, so
he wasn't. I don't think he was a great guy.
No, and not well liked, but
no, but he had money.
But he had money, and also that whole timeline thing where the stepmom was killed, but then later on, like we had talked about, a stranger or someone, not a stranger, but not a family. Where would they be unless they hid in the house, buried?
Right, and it wouldn't make sense to. Like I said, to kill Abby at all. If it was that kind of like a crime, it doesn't make any sense.
No.
So it really, logically, she did it. That's why.
Yeah.
She did it. And that was something. That was one for sure. I would like to have been, not a fly on the wall during that, but just like even like afterwards when she's living the high life and stuff. And she was arrested. Did you hear that about this? Like several years after her dad died for shoplifting.
Oh my gosh.
She had all this money and I think she must have liked the thrill the thrill of
Probably.
doing something that is illegal.
Yeah.
Didn't want to hatch at Emma. But maybe Emma was afraid of that.
Yeah.
I think something happened that Emma found out,
I do too.
and she was like,
That's what I think.
did not speak to her sister ever again.
Ever. And she left. She
Yeah.
fled.
Yeah, yeah. Wouldn't that be a good book? I would love to write that book. Like, you could call it Emma, because that's a Jane Austen book, I think, or something, from the sister's point of view.
Oh, yeah. I wish, that would have been.
Maybe I'll write that.
Yeah. Do some investigation on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is all we have on the Lizzie Borden situation.
So, it's an intriguing story to this day. I mean, how many? It was happened in 1892. I do know, we do know Netflix is coming out. I'm not sure when they're coming out. And they usually do a good job with their documentaries.
Yeah, I can't wait to see.
Again, if you want YouTube or something, there's a movie with Elizabeth McCoy.
Yeah, you're right.
That's very good. It may not be totally accurate. I should watch it again.
Yeah,
But it gives the gist of it.
Right.
And they clearly made it seem like Lizzie did it. So,
Right. I really don't think there's much of doubt in there, but I think having a jury, it wasn't a jury of her peers necessarily, having all men in there, and she played. She had a fan.
Playing the
poor damsel in distress.
Yeah, Scarlett O'Hara of Massachusetts.
Yeah. They said they made her look so feminine and stuff like that. And and she was really the first female, I would say mass murderer. Now so I think she rose to fame in a way because that just wasn't done.
No.
Heard of, you know what I mean? So I think that's another reason that she's so well known in history.
Oh yeah. And the brutality of it.
Yeah.
Hatch it.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. On to nicer things. So if you want to talk to reach us, we are at sip-spill-solve at gmail.com.
Yes.
Sip-spill-solve is Facebook.
Yes.
And we're on Instagram.
Yeah, and we're starting to wrap up our Halloween.
Yeah.
So continue to give us some good advice, especially holiday drinks or holiday stories, holiday kind of anything.
Right. And we thank my friend Donna for the lovely, which is Brew Margarita.
Thank you, Donna.
And pea flour. That's what it's called, pea flour. Yes. We appreciate you so much. And so we say from Spill and Spook, stay suspicious and don't get burglared.